Alright, this is a quick and clean chaga processing video. It is not chaga season. I just have one from that I harvested last year, and it's time for me to process this guy. Ooh, even by handling it, I'm already losing some of those nice chaga pieces. So we're going to use a sawzall today to do our processing, and we are going to do it on a relatively clean drop sheet that I've got here. So this is our work surface that's going to allow us to catch all that dust off of the sawzall. It's from my Makita set. The blade that I'm using today is actually an arborist's blade. So I bought it specifically for cutting wood. I think you could just as easily use a wrecking blade or another kind of a wood saw blade. But this one tends to work pretty well on dry wood. I've been cutting some branches with it, and I think that you will find that this method is a lot faster than hand sawing. So what we want to do is we're going to do some cuts this way. I'm going to do some cuts this way. We're going to take the top off in little chunks. We're going to follow those cuts deeper and take them off in cubes. And that should give us some really nice little pieces for making our chaga tea. I just have to make a bit of space first because we're kind of at that time of year. It's not really chaga harvest time. That's coming up when everything freezes up, but it is harvest season, or just the tail end of it. So I've got pumpkins to deal with, potatoes to put away. So we're just going to make a little bit of space here to work on that chaga. It is deer season, so I'm really looking forward to using this winch to lift a couple deer up. Hopefully do that soon. I've got a hunt coming up on Manitoulin Island again, and it was actually on an island trip that I picked up this nice winch at the Princess Auto, my nearest one, which is in Sudbury. This is like my best workspace right now, so just move that over. I've got a woodworking project coming up, so this should be all the space we need to deal with that chaga. If you have a bandsaw, that would work pretty good too. There's our first cuts. You can see that I maybe even need a battery. I maybe even need a little bigger sheet here to catch all that nice chaga dust that's coming off of here. Now we're rocking the power. Fresh battery. Oh, some chunks are already knocking themselves loose here. So this might work better with smaller chagas, and less good with really big ones. There you have it. So that's a really quick way to cut through your chaga, and also a good way to at least do the best you can to catch all the chaga dust in chunks. I might go through some of these again after, and just with a hammer and chisel break those in half. But mostly I'm just going to be able to follow my same lines here and finish cutting up the rest of this chaga. I mean, that's all there is to it. I'll let the video run a little bit longer if you want to watch me cutting through here, and maybe I'll chisel a couple of these pieces as well. So, I mean, you could also probably whack these with an axe to break them up, and I would say if you're doing that, make sure that you have a wood backing behind your your drop sheet or your towel or whatever you're using. So your other option is a couple taps with the chisel, and that's going to also help to break up your chaga. So I don't know if there's like a best, fastest way to do this, but I feel like this is pretty effective. The sawzall makes very quick work of your cuts, and the chisel works really well for breaking up these bigger pieces that come off, and then you know, have a nice big drop sheet on your work surface. Oops.